Just wanted to give you all a little before and after. This is the Hawk as it came from Townsend. This is the light infantry Hawk. This one is not sharpened. This one's as is, as it came from them. Top loading handle. I did a video on this one, just a real quick video on that one. And I took the extra handle that I bought with it and extra head, and I did some tight wraps of cotton string. Ooh. There's a piece of it right there. And I did real tight wraps of it. And before I did, I soaked it in kerosene and lit it on fire. And I'll let it burn pretty much all the way out. Now, the thing that's not readily apparent is the stripes appear where the string is not. The string kind of protects the wood. So think about how often you want the stripes and lay the string between where you want the stripes. Also, if you think about the stripes not being literal stripes, but more like triangles coming from the top and from the bottom. So do a slight crisscross method. Kind of, I'm exaggerating. Don't do it near this much. And then against it the other way. That way the wood that is showing is more triangular than what I did here. If I did it over, that's how I do it. So I just wanted to show you this. It does have a poured pewter ring in it. Wedding band, as some would call it. I poured it from the top of the handle. It was in my vise like this. Just used standard masking tape to keep the pewter in place until it hardened. The finish that's on it, kind of that hammered finish, is actually the finish that comes off the tape itself. That's where my sprue was, and it's not perfect. Don't get me wrong, but then again, I'm not either. So I cut this groove the depth of my coping saw blade. So it's not very deep. I didn't want to get too deep because then you start to threaten the structural integrity of the handle. But I did color the inside of it with a pencil. I saw online where that kind of helped the pewter flow over the graphite before it cooled down. So I tried that. It did work for me very well. That you're seeing right there is actually the bottom. Whenever it was being poured, that was on the bottom, and that was the top. That's where my sprue was right there. If I was to give you some advice, I would say test fit the head on your handle before you begin, just because I wanted mine actually a little further down. It still looks good, but this head didn't go as far up this handle as my other one. So I kind of used my other one as a reference where I really should have tried this one before I started all of my fancy work on it. And that did lead me to cut down the handle, cut down the top of the handle on this one, just so so it didn't have quite so much sticking up. It probably had another 3/4 of an inch sticking up out of the top of it, and I just thought that was weird that the top of the handle was taller than the top of the blade. So hope you like it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm by no means an expert, but I've done it once, so I can mislead you just about as good as anybody else on the internet.